I'm John McPeak, and you're watching Community Focus, presented by the Friends of MCTV. In this third segment, our guest is Chad Schieber, the Executive Director of Project 111. Welcome to Community Focus.
Thanks for having me, John.
Sarah, what is Project 111?
So Project 111 is becoming known as the safe driving movement all across Michigan, actually. And we are a program at work in the high schools in Midland County. We give incentives to teen drivers to encourage them to drive well. And then we actually educate them on a monthly basis, weekly basis, hopefully a daily basis, about what good driving looks like.
Well, the folks that Project 111 is trying to reach then are teenagers and actually late teenagers, like seniors and beyond in high school? Yeah,
so the students that are that can actually earn an incentive are the seniors at all of the high schools. But we're trying to reach both the kids that are younger than them as well as their parents, and try and get our messaging out to parents about how dangerous teen driving is. Teenagers have the highest crash rate of any group from birth to 95 in the U.S. And we're trying to give the teens reasons to make good choices and reach their parents with the message of how dangerous teen driving is.
What are some of your current programs?
So, the incentives are the big one. Research shows that teenagers in particular don't respond well to consequences. And actually my first husband, Chad Schieber, was an officer with the City of Midland Police Department. He passed away 10 years ago, and this program was his dream. And he could never get it off the ground before he passed away. So we've been able to make his dream come true since then. And what he found is that, teens don't respond well to consequences, and as a police officer, that was his only option. And he said, well, how do I ever get them to not engage in risk-taking behavior behind the wheel if they don't care if I write them a ticket? And that's when he began to cultivate this idea that, what if we caught them on the other side, on the flip side, on the front side, and and prevent them from the risk-taking behavior by incentivizing good driving. So that's the incentives are a big one. The educational component, we work really hard. We have monthly topics that we highlight throughout the year, things such as winter driving, distracted driving, night driving, seatbelt use, speed. Speed is a huge issue with teenagers, tailgating. We are constantly trying to reinforce the dangers involved in driving and how they can avoid the dangers.
Now, when you say we, I'm presuming that you have volunteers or a staff, but you also try to involve the students themselves.
We do.
So it's peer-to-peer?
It is. So we use the student leadership in all of the schools because peer-to-peer is a wonderful way to get the messaging out to teenagers. And the student leadership is always at work teaching, educating, getting the message out. And then I do have a wonderful board of directors, and we're very active on social media, which is very important to teenagers. Always trying to get the messaging out to remind them to drive well.
And part of the program is a pledge that the teenage drivers and their parents are asked to review and sign, that they commit to their pledge. Yeah,
so we just launched what we are calling our I Am movement. I Am Project 111. And when you say that, when you make a statement like that, like I Am Project 111, you begin to take ownership. And we want both teenagers and parents parents to take ownership of their distracted driving. So on our website, which is very simply project111.org, project111.org, there is a pledge that you can download and print off at home and sign it with your teenager. So parents can sign it with their teenagers can sign it with their parents, because so often when we talk to our teenagers in the schools, their parents aren't setting a very good example with distracted driving. So we're trying to get the message out across the board. Parents are saying, I'm going to pledge I won't use my phone. And the teens are saying, I'm going to pledge I won't use my phone. I won't text and drive. I won't check emails while I'm driving. We need to reverse the statistics right now, because distracted driving is becoming a national epidemic.
How are the Project 111 programs funded?
So through a variety of ways, grants. We just received a large grant that will help us get some of our foundational pieces in place for our growth that we're anticipating. Personal donations, monthly sponsors. We have a team of wonderful businesses in town that sponsor us at $1,000 a year, and that $1,000 provides a whole month of incentives at the schools that we serve. And so those businesses get to actually have their picture taken with the winners and use that for their promotional purposes. So we're developing a real foundation of really great support throughout our community.
What would you like our viewers to take away from the interview today? The pledge?
Yeah, you know, if people would engage with their kids, their teenagers, and take the pledge, but also it's important that parents realize the impact they have on their teens driving. And that's why we've asked the parents and the teens to take the pledge together. And also just that people know we're out there, we're there to serve our community, to keep us safe. And you can find us online at our website and on all of our social media.
And your website is?
www.project111.org.
Well, Sarah, thank you for giving us that timely information about distracted driving and how Project 111 is working to keep teenage drivers safer. In our final segment today, we will hear about the upcoming Midland Community Orchestra concert.